We got to talk about right tackle. I'm freaking out about it. I always freak out about it. It's not that I'm freaking out about it because I don't care about the team or root for the team. It's just that I feel like it's the issue and they don't want to talk about it. And they're saying it's not an issue. And I'm saying it is. But it's like they went 13-4 last year with Mike McGlinchey. So it's kind of a nuanced discussion here. How concerning is this right tackle position really?
There's definitely a concern. And I remember Kyle Shanahan talking about, oh, I compare this to Jake Brendel or Aaron Banks of the years past. Or I don't know if he said that, but I've seen that comparisons. Like Tomlinson, Aaron Banks, Alex Mack, or like
Brendel for sure. He said it the other day because Brendel had really never played. He had like 4 or 5 starts, and all of a sudden he's a starter.
Yeah, and that was the more comparable one, right? Because it's guard. Guard's like, okay, guard's like more easier to stick and is less impactful than tackle. I mean, and center is impactful. It's just tackle is like higher up the totem pole to me. It's higher, and you're gonna put Colton McKivitz there. I mean, maybe he looks a little better. Maybe he turns out fine and it's all gravy and they look like geniuses again, like with Brendel. Like, okay, cool. I mean, Brendel turned out to be a Pro Bowl player, whether it was deserved or not. Maybe he was close to it. Maybe he wasn't, but he turned out to be fine. Maybe it'll be good. Again, it's the fact that you're putting so much of this risk of an unknown into top 3, I'd say top 3 most pivotal positions in football, right? With quarterback and tackle being one of them, maybe a pass rusher or corner being 3 or 4, whatever the way you want to rank it. But yeah, tackle is one of them. And this is going to easily be something that disrupts your whole offense. You're going to have to figure out ways to mitigate it like crazy if it doesn't work out with McKivitz, or if it is, whoever it is, I don't think they have a true bona fide answer there. And it's a little scary. And again, I know there was 2 tackles on the board. We talk about kicker instead of taking kicker. There was DeJuan Jones available for them. There was Nick Saldiveri. Those are the only 2 I could have saw that were actually like pure right tackles. You get stuck there. But in terms of were they actually immediate starter ready, that's a huge toss up. I don't know about that.
They might have been guards too. They might have been guards.
It was just a tough way to really find an answer here. So now you're stuck in a position where it's like, what are you guys going to do?
Nick Saldiveri would have been intrigued. I think I would have taken him over Latu. I mean, give him a chance. Like, because here's the thing. Like, Kyle's point is, he can win with McKivitz, and he has. He's beaten the Rams the last 2, twice with McKivitz in the last 2 years. I think once at right tackle, once at left tackle, or maybe both at left tackle. I forget. But he can win with McKivitz, and I'm sure they could win. They could rack up a bunch of wins in the regular season with him. The question is, who's the swing tackle? Like,
Feliciano.
Trent Williams misses a couple games a year. Like, what if McKivitz? Can you win with the next guy playing? Who is the next guy? Jalen Moore? Can you win with him? Because he's probably gonna have to start a few games.
We've already seen it.
I don't know. I don't know if you can win with Jalen Moore. And if it's not him, is it? It could have been Saldiveri or whoever that guy is, but now it's like Nick Zakelj or it's Jalen Moore. So those could be like a couple losses you shouldn't have because you essentially don't have a swing tackle that you could have gotten this draft. And then after that, like, yeah, you could go 15-2. Like, their whole thing is, we don't need a great right tackle because we have the best defense and we're built to run the ball. So we're never putting Mike McGlinchey in that position where we're like down 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, passing every play, people tee off because he'll fold. We're never in that position. We're always winning. Yeah, in the regular season, but at some point in the playoffs, you're going to have to like be in that game. And that right side of your offensive line is going to fold. And you're going to blame the quarterback for not protecting himself or making the throws or whatever. But like, it's going to bite you eventually, even if you go 15-2. That's the way I look at it. The right tackle spot.
And that's assuming that defense makes a smooth transition from D'Amico Ryans to Steve Wilks in the first place. Look, and I thought Wilks was probably the best candidate for them to take instead of Vic Fangio, but there's still going to be a drop off. I think I'm more vindicated. I think I feel more confident
because D'Amico was on Saleh's staff. There was no change. This is different. Yeah.
And even then, when it went from Robert Saleh to D'Amico, I thought Robert was freaking amazing, and I was like, there's going to be definitely some growing pains, and it's probably going to look off for a stretch of the season. It never did. It never did into the season. He was a better upgrade than Saleh, and that was crazy because Saleh, what he did in 2020 should never be taken for granted. But Wilks, it's like he still doesn't have it on the table in terms. Again, he hasn't had the same talent and staff he has now, so he should be good, right? But it's in terms of them being what they were with D'Amico and Robert all those years, it's probably not going to happen. There's probably going to be some of those.
It might be different. It might be different.
I demand more out of this offense, and I even demand more because Kyle is going with Brock Purdy at quarterback, and he's so been vindicated and convicted, as John Lynch keeps saying over and over again. They're convicted about Brock Purdy. That's like, okay, you think this is the guy? You think your offense is the shit? Show it to me. Don't if
Show
your
it to me.
defense is cracking, I want to see it. I want to see it. You have this right tackle. I don't hear no excuses about the right tackle. This is your choice because, like they
Right.
said,
This is who you wanted.
they foreshadowed, they predicted that Meg McGlinchey was going to go for a large sum of cash in free agency.
Yeah, you saw it all coming.
Other fielding trade offers, right?
Yeah.
You guys had all that time to figure out a replacement or to do something, and McKivitz was your best bet. You better hope it works.
You better hope it works. And my prediction is that it'll work for the most part in the regular season. But when they come to the crossroads, like Bone Thugs and Harmony, meet me at the crossroads, McKivitz is going to be the one there that lets him down, most likely. Last year, it was Tyler Kroft. I don't know. I just wouldn't. It seemed like in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, the right side caved. In the NFC Championship against the Rams in the fourth quarter, the right side caved. And they're capable of caving again. I do think it's concerning, but it doesn't mean I'm going to like pick them to go 9-8 this year. You know what I mean? They can still run the ball. They can still run to win a lot, probably. I mean, they hardly run to the right anyway. They had all of their good runs go to the left the last, 2 years, except for the Debo runs. The Debo Ray runs. Those go to the right.
Or the center.
Official BNA Music 88 says, counting down to Brandon Allen looking good at camp, and he's completing 80% of his swing passes to TDP posts. I don't think anyone is. I missed a bunch. I'll go back and get them. But yeah, that's going to be fun. The Brandon Allen hype train. I don't think anyone. Someone asked. I have a friend I grew up with who's a Raider fan, and he's texted me. He's like, he wanted to know if Sam Darnold has a group of irrational fans that think he's really good, like Jimmy does. And I was like, I don't think so.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Zach not yet. Zach Rivero says, I'm not mad they got Moody, but why 36 and not 38 at least? He would have been gone by their next pick in fifth round. Kind of understand the logic.
36 and 38
in round 3.
I
don't know. They felt if they didn't take Moody at 99 or whatever that pick was, that someone was going to trade up with the Raiders.
They had a fourth round grade on him. That's what they said. And since the bottom, hey, you made fun of Kyle Shanahan saying like, oh yeah, Kyle says that third round pick was a fourth round pick. And it's like, it's definitely more of a fourth than it is a third, Grant. I agree with Kyle on that one.
But I just think it's funny. Like when you're trying to hype up a player, you try to say, is this dude's really good? Not like, hey, it's not really a third round pick. Think of him as a fourth round pick. It's like what you're saying is like, he's not that good. Let me lower the expectations here. I don't want to raise him.
I don't think it was that so much that he's not that good. I think it's so much like, hey, don't make fun of me for using a third round pick. I actually used
that's what it was. Pick. He didn't think of it, but that's how it comes across. It's like, man, you're kind of like, you should be pumping him up and say, this guy's great. I would have taken him in round 2. I would have taken him in round 1. NG49 says, while 6 cents Sam watches B-ball trades grinding. 6 cents Sam. I see dead people.
But I'd say that Sam is doing the good thing because he's ingratiating himself with the Cabo clique. And that's one of the ways of how Sam Darnold is going to win that starting job.
Isn't that crazy that he was at the game with Kittle? I mean, I understand that he's friends. He's friends with Christian, but now he's friends with Kittle too. Like, that just doesn't seem fair.
Hey, George, I'll buy you a beer. You're the best quarterback ever. Coors.